Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello, tunga suommikit tavunga nunu paamun uvanga ian. Tanne saqqitilertara weird and interesting ujarlut qanuunarpuka takoqannuujarluni ilangit. Takuganguallarlavun.
This will blow your mind. In a world's first, researchers at Osmo Labs have achieved the teleportation of smell. I mean, do you realize how crazy that is? Let me put it this way. So, as of right now, humans have only figured out how to teleport two of our senses. Sound, with the telephone or speakers, and images with the screens that we look at all day. And we've done that because we've discovered a way to capture those senses digitally and then turn them into data that we can then send instantly. But now they have managed to do that with smell. So hypothetically, once they're able to replicate this process on machines outside of the lab, not only one day could you send someone a smell like you send them an image or a voice note. Oh my lord, the businesses that are going to come out of that one, I'll let the comments handle that. But also, and here's the craziest part, they say that by digitizing scent, they've effectively given computers a new sense. You better wake up in 2030 and your iPhone's going to tell you you stink. Go get a shower. Now,
we can start emailing how we smell. What the heck?
the first smell they ever digitized was fresh plum. They captured the scent molecules in a digital format and then reprinted the exact same smell on the other side of the room, which came out looking like a regular clear liquid. And I guess that begs the question, what's going to happen to all of these expensive colognes once you can immediately reproduce them? Osmo Labs CEO on Twitter said, "Holy moly, I am still processing the magnitude of what we've
digitized and rematerialized the essence of a plum. What we've done is we've cut a plum here, and we're going to put it into a vial where the scent that's leaving the plum is being trapped inside of this vial. And then what we can do is take this vial to a machine which can suck the air outside of this vial, which contains the smell of the plum, and then analyze those molecules one by one. And when we have that, we can then take that formula and then reprint it. If we've done the whole process correctly, the thing that ends up reprinted, which is just going to look like a clear liquid, is the distilled essence of the scent of a plum you've just cut into. And if they smell the same, it means that we've actually given computers a new sense. And the sense of smell is effectively the way that we turn the air around us into data.
We can teleport our smell. Maybe even email our smell. It'll be processed.
What is going on?
But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators.
Let me show y'all a few movies that are basically documentaries. You have The Society from the 80s showing you that everybody in the industry is connected together. We have another movie from the 80s, They Live. The government basically telling you they're not who you think they are. There's plenty of other movies in the 80s, but here we go to the 90s, Coneheads telling you that your neighbors may not be who you think they are. We got another movie in the 90s, The Men in Black, telling you that many people around you may not be who you think they are. Then we get to the 2000s where Cabin Fever tells you that a lot of water gets contaminated, the government knows about it, and keeps it quiet. Then we have another movie in the 2000s, The Bay, about contaminated water in small towns from feces. Government knows about it, says nothing. We all know about the Hunger Games. Literally, entertainment for the rich. Once again, The Maze Runner, another.
At Hunger Games, it's like lightweight version of Squid Games.
Their form of entertainment for the rich. Watching people go through crazy objectives. For what? Y'all know there's many more I could have named, but those are documentaries to me. Those aren't movies.
How I stay so youthful? I tell them I eat well.
They'll be able to smell just like us. robots takalaguni.
Get plenty of rest, and every third Sunday, I drink the blood of a virgin. And these days, they're getting harder and harder to find.
I eat children. How old are you?
12.
12. Oh, okay. Only to 10.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Children and pineapple.
Children and pineapple.
Person, okay, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you
I
wouldn't
would
try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not. Wow. That looks great. Thank you. What you want in a pancake is to have the consistency of young human flesh.
It's spongy, it has life to it.
You're with a guy with brightly colored undergarments, and you got soft human flesh in front of you. You're in a weird place.
I'm looking forward to this. This is really going to be a great pancake.
Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies.
We are not defunding the police. We have not.
Are there people who, in the Democratic Party, who want to fund the president?
Are there people in the Republican Party who think we're sucking the blood out of kids?
I'm not sure. Are there people in the Democratic?
So AI systems are doing pretty much everything we currently call work. Anything you might aspire to, like you want to become a surgeon, it takes the robot 7 seconds to learn how to be a surgeon. That's better than any human being.
Elon said last week that the humanoid robots will be 10 times better than any surgeon that's ever lived.
Quite possibly, yeah. Well, and they'll also have, they'll have hands that are, a millimeter in size, so they can go inside and do all kinds of things that humans can't do. And I think we need to put serious effort into this question. What is a world where AI can do all forms of human work that you would want your children to live in?
Show y'all how it really.
AI technology helping around in our everyday life.
Really be in your face. That's a reptilian eye and the Taco Bell symbol. I never looked at it like that till today, until somebody pointed it out in the comments. Yo, it's supposed to be a bell. Why the inside of it look like a reptilian eye? Symbolism everywhere.
I went with this one guy and he looked like a lizard. I was so scared. He was sitting beside me, I was like, oh my God. I was like, holy shit, he looks just like a lizard. And I had to go. It was really bad.
So you just left? Wow.
Hey, Brittany was letting us know all along. Hey, them reptilians be around.
Antique Roadshow reptile. In this video, captured on camera, it is a regular episode of the BBC show, The Antiques Roadshow, when, in the background, the camera captured a man staring at the camera. His eyes appear pretty large, being opened quite wide, and if you zoom in, it looks as if his pupils have slits. His eyes resemble a snake's eyes, revealing that he is obviously a shapeshifter snake. He doesn't appear to be with anyone, just hanging in the background, smirking at what he's observing. It's crazy to see this on camera, but I wonder if anyone has actually seen this in person. My suspicious brain would probs not even believe anyone, even if they did claim that they saw this in real life. I'd be like,
where I live, it gets too cold for those type of people to survive. So I've never seen.
show me that proof, or nothing. I'll just be sad.
Exploring the mill when she saw something truly horrifying.
It's in the fermentory area where there's these like ovens. They look like you put bodies in. It was a man, a full apparition face, and then you could actually see the eyes. But what scares me the most is that one of the eyes looks like it's vertical, like a reptilian.
And you saw that so close and detailed that it looked like his eyes were reptilian.
Yes.
And vertical.
Yes.
Ooh, that's scary. In our experience, an entity with reptilian eyes is most likely demonic.
Remember being on a table.
The entity I remember is very, very tall.
Praying mantis beings. No.
The face was exactly like a praying mantis, and it moved its head in very jerky-like manner. And I'm pretty sure, just in my own heart, that that's not the first time in 1965.
There's one being in particular that I always recognize, and he's not a gray. He's taller, he's thinner, he's got a bigger head, he's got bigger eyes. His limbs are very praying mantis-like. I remember being on the table with my head turned away, not wanting to look at this creature. And then when I looked at him, I just recognized him as the one that I hated. You find yourself on a table and these creatures around you with instruments, and you have no idea what they're doing, and they don't tell you.
Few days, NASA is sending
Kanalo kaya ngayon. At hindi siya mangitakay, may tayo mo tayo. Kanalo kaya.
humans farther from Earth than ever before. This is the second of 3 planned NASA missions to go back to the moon, with the real goal of eventually establishing a moon colony. After takeoff, the crew will start a 10-day journey, first traveling around Earth in high orbit. During that time, astronauts will check the ship and test life support and navigation and communications, and then they'll start a 4-day trip to the moon, traveling nearly 500,000 kilometers from Earth. And then they'll swing around behind the moon, going 13,400 kilometers farther than the Apollo 13 record set back in 1970. This will allow them to test the radiation shelter. It's basically like a fort that they build to protect them from solar storms, and observe the far side of the moon for future missions. And then using the moon's gravity, they'll swing back around toward Earth for what might be the most dangerous part of the mission, re-entry. This is where they'll pierce through the atmosphere at 40,000 kilometers per hour, the heat shield protecting them from temperatures half as hot as the sun. And if all goes well with this Artemis 2 mission, the third and final mission will have humans landing back on the moon for the first time in 50 years. If you want to see that, follow along.
Children. It'll never happen, man. Man won't walk on the moon even though they're having these missions. So did you see the first one? It's just gonna go around the moon. What the heck? They're gonna get caught if they try and land. What do you guys think?
That have been being born now for the last couple of decades are not just a new generation. They're, technically speaking, genetically speaking, a new species of human. They are an uplifted species of human that has more capability of making those energetic and spiritual connections. They don't forget as much of who they are coming into physical materiality. They remain strongly connected to spirit, and they're guided more easily that way. So yeah, I think that a lot of the children being born today will be the ones who will sort of lead the way to this future.
You not even notice them, but tiny electronic labels are slowly being introduced to stores. Sometimes they're even designed to look like paper labels, but they're actually pretty controversial. Critics are worried that these labels, which connect to a broader computer network and can shift prices at a moment's notice, could enable dynamic pricing in stores. Dynamic pricing is the practice of raising prices during periods of high demand and lowering prices during periods of low demand. Dynamic pricing is now pretty common online, but some people say that these labels now threaten to bring dynamic pricing to brick-and-mortar stores. Back in 2024, Elizabeth Warren and Bob Casey, 2 senators, sent a letter to Kroger's to discuss that company's implementation of these labels. The company defended itself, but Elizabeth Warren told me that she's still concerned about the practice. Here's what she said in a statement. Economists say that the reality is more complicated. There are a variety of reasons.
Where I live, grocery stores still use non-electronic paper price tags on the shelves.
Why a store might need to suddenly raise prices. Those could include tariffs, inflation, or rising costs from suppliers.
Oh, but some are actually higher price than what they're shown on the price tag. That's the crappy part about it.
Stores might also be looking for a way to make sure that the prices they're offering online match what they're offering on the aisle. And while these tools certainly make it easier to raise prices, they also make it easier to lower them, and quickly. One of the best use cases seems to be in grocery stores, where food is often about to go stale, and sale is an easy way to get rid of them. In terms of the research, the jury is still out about whether these tools actually create an increase in surge pricing. In the end, the arrival of these labels is a reminder that while we're used to seeing screens with changing prices in some contexts, like airline tickets or ordering an Uber, in other places we still bristle at the idea, like, say, the grocery store. Have you seen any of these electronic shelf labels out in the wild?
I didn't know what makes Friday the 13th.
No, I still haven't seen them yet where I live. Ika nga yun, Friday the 13th, today quick soon.
So unlucky. During the Last Supper, the 13th guest to arrive was Judas, who betrayed Jesus. It's when Loki, the god of mischief, crashed a banquet in Valhalla,
Thor's brother.
bringing the number of gods in attendance to 13. Deceived by Loki, a blind god was tricked into shooting his brother, the god of light, joy, and goodness, with a mistletoe-tipped arrow, killing him instantly. Friday is the day that Eve ate the forbidden apple. Friday is also when Cain murdered his brother Abel, the day the Temple of Solomon was destroyed, and the day Noah's Ark set sail. The word Friday comes from Day of Frigg, the queen of Asgard and a powerful sky goddess. They deemed the women who worshipped her witches, and when Christianity took over, Frigga was banished. She was sent to a mountaintop and labeled a witch. It was said that every Friday, this witch would collect a coven with 11 other witches and the devil himself, equaling the number 13.
Jesus was killed on the Friday. Did she mention that? No, I didn't hear.
Suggests fruits and vegetables make up 99.5% of the plastics we consume. A meta-analysis of 193 studies by the University of Amsterdam found that fruits, veggies, and grains likely account for the majority of the 50,000 microplastic particles adults now consume every day. That's up to 500 times more than estimates from just a few years ago. Another study by the New England Journal of Medicine found microplastics embedded inside the arterial plaques of heart patients. Those with plastic in their arteries were 4 times more likely to suffer a heart attack, stroke, or death. The soil our food grows in is saturated with it, and farmland actually receives up to 23 times more plastic pollution than the ocean. Plants then absorb plastics internally through their roots where it ends up in our food. We shouldn't stop eating these staples, but we can prepare them differently, like soaking and peeling them before eating when possible, switching to non-toxic cooking equipment, sweating out plastics in the sauna, and using glass-bottled spring water or reverse osmosis water to rinse your produce. And do your best to choose food without them. Track and test for microplastic exposure on the Oasis app, where you can search your food for hidden plastics. Farm
Inuit people are full of microplastics.
salmon test to be the most toxic in the world. Farmed salmon was tested at grocery stores across the US and found polychlorinated biphenyl levels 16 times higher than wild salmon and 4 times higher than beef. PCBs are a group of man-made chemicals that were manufactured from 1929 until they were banned in 1979. And when ingested, they never break down, increasing the risk of things like immune and metabolic damage. Additionally, 9 out of the 10 samples failed the EPA safety limits, some exceeding them by 4.5. Now, we're referencing a study that was done over 20 years ago, but no one has conducted a comparable US retail study since. And the FDA hasn't updated their safety recommendations since 1984. A more recent study found that mice-fed farmed salmon gained twice the amount of body weight, and even Atlantic salmon by Trader Joe's is still farmed. Always choose wild caught and check the Oasis app for the latest seafood testing.
Humans. Even farmed salmon is full of plastic. Darn. It's always available in stores.
Are being controlled by a demonic, parasitic race called the Vril. Now, this is a theory that I came to know about by
the Vril.
Following a YouTube channel called Autodidactic. Toxoplasmosis is carried by cats, and around 60% of humans actually have it. Toxoplasmosis severely increases the chance of humans having depression, ADHD, OCD, aggression, neuroticism, and that's just a few of them. Another fact is that parasites are most active during a full moon. And studies have shown that during a full moon, people tend to be more anxious, more depressed. Crime is committed during a full moon as well. So it's almost as if the parasites inside the people are causing this chaos during a full moon when they are most active. Egyptians worshipped cats. Egyptian headdresses look like this. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks a hell of a lot like some kind of parasitic worm that's sticking out of the headdress of all of the royals in the Egyptian pharaoh families. Why does every single celebrity seem to have a black eye? Is there something going in their eye? In the TV show Stargate, what they show is that it's the parasite who is running things and using the human body as almost like an avatar. Just wanted to show you a picture of Stargate and with the new Neuralink logo. Then there's the saying, as within, so without. And if you look at parasites underneath a microscope, I find it very strange that they look very demonic. And a lot of people with depression, I myself have suffered from depression, you get these intrusive thoughts. And the last thing I wanted to just mention, I can't say the name out loud, but there is a machine that pushes out certain frequencies, and the claim is that these frequencies will kill the parasites. And many people who have used these machines say that these machines have cured them of things that their doctors have told them are incurable.
This will blow your mind.
I wonder what's the frequency. I might need it tested out. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.